What's up, everyone? I'm here with a special guest. We got the 2021 Pan-American Freestyle champion. We got 2022 New England runner-up and the man that haunts Bo Bassett in his dreams about Greco, Jackson Heslin. Jackson, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing well, man. Thank you for asking. So, first, let's start off. Might as well. Let's flash your arm a little bit there, if you could. So what happened there?
So wrestling my quarterfinals match at the U.S. Open World Team Trials for cadets. I hyperextended my arm and had to get surgery for my UCL. Tommy John, you don't really see it much.
Oh, you got Tommy John?
Yep.
Wow.
Other than baseball pitchers, you don't really see it much, but I'll be back for season.
That's great to hear, man.
Yeah.
It always sucks when you get injured, but you never want it to be like right before the season starts. You know what I mean? For like high school.
Oh, last year I reclassed at GFA and I had ankle surgery. I broke my ankle at training with my partner Ben Zuckerman, and I wrestled 5 weeks on that. Super 32, Columbus State duels, and then after that found out I was broken, needed to put a screw in my ankle, so I was out the whole entire season, my second freshman season. So yeah, and then coming back was World Team Trials, got hurt again, but I'll be back for season, and I showed that it doesn't matter if I'm out for the whole season. I can come back and be a better wrestler.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you brought up something interesting, something I didn't even realize. So you reclassed when you transferred?
Yeah, so I'm actually going into sophomore year.
But you're basically technically a junior, or not technically because you're not, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's very cool. It's I always just heard of people doing like post grad years. I didn't know you could do that in the middle of high school. That's really awesome. That prep allows that.
Yeah, so if you go to prep school, you can reclass any year. So we got a bunch of our guys reclassing or post grads, and yeah, it's very good. What's nice about reclassing is I can still senior year go to every tournament I want to, other than post grads where they can't go to those tournaments.
And it's it's not like a redshirt year in college where you're not competing, right? Like you're competing or like you would have been competing last year if you.
Yeah, I would have been competing if I wasn't hurt.
So that's really cool. That's something good about prep.
Yeah. And
you mentioned Zuckerman. That was another guy that transferred over with you to Green Farms.
Yeah.
So how's he doing? What's it like working with him?
Dude, compared from last year, we wrestled a couple times, took that from him. So I mean, from last year we became best friends, training partners. I've gotten him better, he's gotten me better. And really, he's a bad man. He's under the radar, but
yeah.
I mean, he just came off of All-American at NHSCA's.
Yep.
So I mean, he's there. He's getting there. So we'll see. But yeah, no, he's gonna be a problem.
Dude, I was looking through the New England brackets from when you were at Xavier and Zuckerman was at Ward, and I think you guys wrestled each other in like the quarterfinals. I think. It was like
we wrestled in the semifinals. And we wrestled in the semifinals at New England.
Okay. I got you back. And just speaking more about that New England bracket, man. That New England bracket was probably one of the deepest brackets we've seen in a while. Think about it. We had Joyce winning it, who's at Stanford now.
You could arguably say it was probably one of the toughest brackets ever in New England.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
We had two top 15, maybe top 20 kids right there. An honorable mention, me. You had Chewy, and then you had Joyce. Both of them were ranked time. So, I mean, yeah, it was deep. It was deep. Not even that. We had more and more kids. So, yeah.
Think about because I'm trying to think of how many potential D1 athletes will come out of that bracket. Because Joyce is at Stanford, you and Botello are clearly on the track. Ben
Ben
as well. And then Ethan Titus, too, from Canton, wrestles at Ryder.
So that's 5.
Cole Albert, I'm sure he could, do it. He's wrestling at he's prep as well, right?
Yeah, he goes to Hill.
Hill, gotcha. Where is that? That's?
PA.
Oh, it's Pennsylvania. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to learn prep.
Yeah, no, it took me a while. It took me the whole year, but I mean, I got the basis of it now. I'm getting better.
So, and it was new weight classes too, right? For prep, it was different weights.
For the heavier weights, it was different. The lighter weights stayed the same. So.
Oh yeah, I think it's the same now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, dude, talk to me about the transition, kind of going from Xavier, one of the best SEAC programs in Connecticut, to Green Farms, basically the best prep program in Connecticut. What was it like doing that?
So, at Xavier, I think instead of progressing and going up, I was staying the same. I had, the coaches were good. They pushed me. I worked very hard, cutting a lot of weight. It was a good experience, but kind of fit for me, and it wasn't somewhere where I could grow, where I want to be, as in being the number 1 kid in the country, kids like that. Yeah. So making the transition around, I would say, mid-year into the season of 2021, so last year, I went down to Southside Wrestling Club, just Saturday practice. My coach Jack Conroy was like, "Yo, just come down, got like good partners." That's the first time I really talked to Ben Zuckerman, and so yeah, I went down. I enjoyed the practice. It was awesome. I honestly never had a feeling where I enjoyed practicing, wow. Really fun being there. So it was a whole different experience. And other from there, Jack Conroy was like, I'm bringing you to GFA. I was just like, okay, and then it happened. So I mean, the change is definitely a lot. The family we have there is way different than at Xavier. If you look in all of our pictures, we're just all super close and tight together. Everyone on the wrestling team loves each other. We're always busting each other's balls and all that, and we're just always having a good time and working each other and pushing each other. So I think it's definitely a big change from public school to prep. We wrestle Blair, Sen, Malvern prep, Lake Highland prep. We wrestle CBA, all these guys all year. We go everywhere, so it's definitely way different than going to one tournament, Beast of the East, where Xavier does. But Xavier's definitely shown that they are the best in the state. But GFA really shows we're the best in New England.
Yeah, I would love to see, you take GFA, NMH, maybe Xavier, Ponegantsit, or another New England team, and you throw them in a little dual tournament or whatever. That would be that's the ultimate dream.
We're down. GFA is definitely down. We've tried. It's the other teams that are iffy about it, because class and all that, so they don't really like it, public schools wise. But we got something planned. We got something planned with us and NMH and a couple other teams. That's good.
And yeah. Dude, I gotta ask too, because GFA is. I live in Norwalk. GFA is in Westport. It's in town right over. And dude, where you went to Xavier? That's pretty. Do you commute to GFA?
So I live actually in Manchester and okay. That's up north, but I live with a friend and a coach and Jack down there during the school year, and it's a good fit. I don't mind it. It's not a boarding school. That's one thing about GFA.
That was something I wondered if there was boarding in dorms or not.
So basically I board with a family, but other than that, it's so I come home when I can. When I'm training, I really don't have a lot of time, but I'm used to it. Moved to California in 8th grade, so I'm used to it. Yeah.
We're in Colorado not too long ago, right?
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. We got a couple of our guys going up this weekend, just coming back from last week.
Nice, dude. Talk to me a little bit about because you're at the Olympic Training Center, right?
Yep. So
what was it like being there, training there?
it was awesome. Definitely the altitude at first.
I bet.
It was cool. I was with the best guys in the country. Zan Fugit, number 3. He's going to Wisconsin. Joel Adams. I was with all of those guys. All the senior women guys, women were there. Wrestlers. The boxers were there. It was cool. So train about 2 times a day. Each practice would be 2 hours. We would have classroom sessions, so we'd be going over what we would be doing in practice, and then other sessions where it'd be mental stuff, just growing in the sport, growing in life, and then daily habits. And so it was a really cool experience, and they really showed us what Team USA does and what they do with Jordan Burroughs and all these guys before matches. They really have a note card they show them, and to just remind their mind what they're going to do in every match. So I gained a lot of knowledge there, a lot. But it was amazing. I've been invited back, but obviously I wasn't.
Yeah, it holds you back a little bit.
Yeah, but I love what they're doing. This is they've been starting to grow and invite a lot more people. So I hope a lot more New England people can come out, because it's amazing.
Yeah, dude, and that's the thing too. Being cooped up in New England, it sucks. You don't really get that much recognition. Yeah. A kid like you, I feel you've been winning, international competitions since you were 15. I feel like you didn't even get that much recognition until you beat Bo Bassett. I feel this year,
Yeah, it's something where it's it's in Greco, but I also was aiming.
Don't tell me that, man. That's
yeah, but aiming to
what a performance.
I was also aiming to beat him in freestyle. I was feeling. Before Greco, I said to my coach, I was like, I'm feeling dangerous. Today, I had a tough draw. I went from having my fellow teammate in California to straight 10 to straight 5 or 6 top 10 kids the whole time. Not one break. So it was tough with this too. So
yeah. And you made it to the semis of the Greco, right? Placed 4th, yep. I think.
I was up 6-0, and then I got pinned.
Yeah, I think I remember watching that match. Honestly.
Yeah. I'm. It's whatever, but it definitely
happens to the best of us. The best get caught sometimes too.
And I'm honestly thankful for it. It helps me grow more than not knowing. And if I went on to win the tournament, I don't really know what more to grow on. But now that I know what to do and what I need to work on, so it's just part of the game.
Yeah, now not to make that mistake again.
Yep.
So let's talk about just the U.S. Open in general. What was it like competing there with your sister too, as she was competing on the women's side?
It was nice. It was a little hard, just being able to help her out, but also staying focused. Mm-hmm. But I honestly love that she's in the sport. I've told everyone who asked me about the sport that it's something that I could never ever not want. This sport has helped me gain relationships and grown so much knowledge throughout the years I've been in it, and life lessons and just going through hard times. It's not hard cutting weight. It's definitely not weight. So and yeah, she went 0-2, but she had a great time. She's actually this is her 2nd or 3rd real year of wrestling, so it's pretty weird. That was her first real big tournament, national tournament. She's going to Lock Haven.
Right? Yep.
Yeah, going to Lock Haven. But she definitely has the Heslin genes, because I can see got stuff in her, and it's only been a couple of years. So.
Did your dad wrestle? Is that where the wrestling Heslin came from?
Actually, my dad was a Division I soccer player.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah.
So where did wrestling come from? Was it you that was the first one too?
So I was a very crazy and energetic little kid, and I loved to just roughhouse and whatnot. And I was a hockey player. I played all sports: soccer, football, baseball, hockey. And I just decided, to stop playing hockey one winter and start Glastonbury Wrestling, the youth wrestling club. And I did that for a year, then went to Ram Coyotes, which is in Hebron.
RHAM, right?
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I was in, I would say, 4th grade, I made the switch to KT Kids, and I was there ever since Pan Am's, and then ever since I left Xavier, and then now I'm at Southside, but KT still my home, you know.
Yeah, so, remember your roots,
Oh yeah.
So when did you did you like wrestling from the start then, if you were just a hyper kid that liked to, rough around?
Yeah, I fell in love with the sport. I loved it. When I was a little kid, the flashbacks I remember, I just always wanted to wrestle with my stepbrother. That's all I wanted to do. We both did it out. That's all I wanted to do was just wrestle. And then, I played soccer within wrestling, and soccer grew out of me, and wrestling just kept growing and growing, and I realized I had talent for the sport, and it really just kicked off. The more work I put in with KT, John Knapp, the better I got.
Yeah, and look where all that work has taken you now. It's taken you pretty good places so far.
Yeah.
So, what was, do you remember your first tournament, or your first competition that you did?
I remember, yes. It was in Colchester, and it was a little dual meet between Ram Coyotes and the Colchester youth program. And I remember
How old were you? 5?
5 or 6. I remember I didn't get a medal, and I was crying. I also remember me at States, and the kid was in referees, and we were still neutral, and I was just spinning around him, and I wasn't staying behind him to get my 2, so I was just spinning. And I thought
spin drill, kinda, you know what I mean? The spin drill practice.
Yep. And I remember I was crying because I didn't win, and I think I got 4th place. Yeah, so really what helped me progress in this sport was going to these tournaments, no matter how bad I did. I went to Wildwood, Wildwood?
Yeah, Jersey, right?
Yep. I would go 0-10, all these tournaments, and then just the more work I put in, the better I got.
And that's the thing too, just the mat time too, if you're going to spend that much time on the mat, whether you're winning or losing, you're going to get better,
Yeah.
And that really just builds people.
One thing I think that has also helped me switch levels is being surrounded by all the right people, and people who are only going to the top with me. All my best friends are wrestlers. I have friends all over the world just from wrestling, and really that's all I need. I have a couple friends outside of wrestling, but other than that, most of my interests are wrestling. So it's it's yeah.
I hear, man. Hey, that's the thing too. Wrestling is one of those things where if you do work your life around it, then it's gonna be a pretty good life, because you're going to be eating right. You're going to be living a very healthy lifestyle, Like you said, it builds all these connections, like you said, across the country, where you just have this network of people who live the same life that you do,
Yep.
It really builds connections. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm very thankful, and think this sport is meant for everyone. Or not for everyone, it's very challenging, but a lot of
those who want to work,
Yep, exactly.
So who are some of your wrestling role models that whether at the club or senior level wrestlers or college level wrestlers that you looked up to?
So, I would say I would always fanboy over wrestlers, but I never looked up to them. There's a couple, I love Chance Marcello's story, great story.
Yeah. Just shout out to him, freaking out JB.
Overcoming a lot. But I really look up to more people who believe in me and look out for me. So my parents and my coaches. Also past teammates, Will Ebert.
Oh yeah, he's a dog.
Kids I looked up to when I was smaller. Yeah, I wouldn't say I look up to any senior guys more than kind of just love watching them wrestle and love them.
Like you said, fanboy over them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So you said you're hoping to be back in time for the season with that Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
What weight do you think we would see you at?
Don't be shocked if it's 120, but probably
120. Wow.
Well, probably 126.
Okay.
So I 120 is more my goal for bigger tournaments. I think competition wise, if I'm at 120 for Ironman, if I'm at 120 for Super 32, which I won't be at, but tournaments like that. Other than last year, I was at like Fargo 26, Super 32 26. I think making that little adjustment, doing the right things for an extra couple more weeks, getting down my weight, I'm way bigger, way stronger at 120. So I think competition-wise, nationally, I think I should be going 120.
And so is there any chance the brace or anything comes off and you're cleared for any events before the season starts, or?
I think so.
Yeah. So no Fargo this year.
I think a little late, early start. I think I'll start a little late to the season, but I won't be missing much.
By like January, you'll be back probably. You think?
Yeah, definitely by January.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And what can we expect? From GFA next year. Like who are you guys losing? Aside from Steven.
So we're losing Steven, Chris Murphy, Xavier.
Is he committed?
He's going to Cornell.
Oh, okay. Good for him.
We got out of Norwalk, or no, Danbury. And then we got Tyler. He's going to Franklin and Marshall. And I think that's it. I think those are the guys, but yeah, I mean, those are pretty good guys.
And then I know some people you got coming in from Norwalk. You got Will Motley, who I'm pretty sure is going to GFA.
Oh yeah, he's been there.
Okay, any other like people we should watch out for?
I would say, but I want strictly the New England side of prep school to let them wait and see, because we got some.
I hear that.
We got some pretty good kids coming in, and yeah.
Interesting.
But they got some pretty good recruits too. I was looking, and they're building their team. NMH.
Like Northfield, yeah, dude. They got Colby Hull, Elliot Humphreys, who is doing a post grad year there. NMH and Green Farms, dude. I wanted to go to a duel last year. I think at Green Farms, where was
you should have
guys Wyoming, but I ended up like having something that day, so I couldn't. But
so
I would love to do it again.
I think we're going to be doing that again, and then we also have a duel with NMH if you would like to come. Well, maybe not NMH. It's at Pack the House, so it's our senior night, and the whole entire school comes. It's crazy, like it's and you usually don't see. Yeah, we had NMH last year. I doubt they'll come again. We were pretty loud.
Dude, how is the prep atmosphere for wrestling?
It's good.
Imagine too, because GFA is a good team, so I imagine the fans probably feel like they have to show out.
So it's different from most. If you lived in most states, like being able to compete within 3 hours of the top 5 teams in the country, like it's very awesome. I would just say competition wise, it's just way different. Like being able to compete with Blair and Sam and all those guys, it's just like you don't get to, like, you get that one tournament maybe if you go to a New England public school, but not usually. So unless you're wrestling Jake Joyce or Tyler Knox, you're not getting that action.
Yeah, you really the off season usually is when people that's the problem.
Yeah.
But luckily, you get to go to all these events, wrestle the best of the best year round.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for it. It's awesome. It's also seeing, like, at the U.S. Open, you were asking how it was. It was awesome. You know, I was on my floor, the Iowa Hawkeyes, like all the girls, all the guys, like they were up there. Very cool. Like I was in the hotel elevators with like Nick Sirianno, like Vito, all those guys, walking like in the halls with all of them. But yeah, you're one of them. You know, you just gotta act like.
That's cool.
Do. Yeah.
Dude, the last thing I really want to ask you about is, it might even be too early, but especially since you reclassed, but you're not getting, you talking to any colleges at all lately, or?
Colleges have, I woke up June 15th, the college is reaching out, but they didn't know I reclassed, so I let them know.
Gotcha, yeah. So they got to wait another year then, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a shame, but hey, that's good for me because that means that's another year that you're around. That I get to cover you. You're close by, you know.
I got 3 more years.
Yep, make the most of them, man.
Thank you.
You know, especially I really think someone like you and GFA's team next year could challenge for a national prep title, and I think GFA because you guys were 6th, I believe, 5th.
Yeah, so we were behind Blair, Sem, Malvern, Lake Highland, and then it was us. All those teams are like top. All of them are like top 6, like 1, 2, 4, and 6.
And that's the thing, you know, it goes with being stuck in New England, where even a prep school like GFA places 5th at national preps, and
we're still not ranked.
Still isn't even a top 50 team in the country, you know.
It's shocking, you know. I mean, it's well deserved. It's probably one of my coach's goals this year, but I mean, we reached our goal of getting top 5 this year, and that's what we did. So we're aiming for top 3. You know, we truly think we can be like Lake Highland and definitely STEM and definitely Malvern. Like we definitely do. The difference between us in the beginning of the year and the end is our guys lose in the beginning of the year. We're a slow start. This year we had multiple dual tournaments with like Blair, Sam, CBA, a couple other teams, and we lost most of our matches other than our like top guys. And at the end of the season we won when it matters at Prep Natties. Most of our guys overcame our losses between those really good kids. So I mean, like Joey, beating DeCraker, it's stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. Overall, just like a great team that I'm really super excited to see next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pop out some matches. Like I said, Westport's just in my backyard right here. So.
Sure. Yeah, we'll definitely be. I'll definitely let you know. You can definitely come watch and pop out. We have like our conference championships with NMH as well. You can come to if they're not during regular Connecticut like states, but yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to get out there, experience some prep wrestling.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we covered a good amount. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, I just want to thank you for, hopping on, talking. It was great having you, Jackson.
Of course, it was a pleasure.